Hello, 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 hello. Good evening and welcome to Final Boss Fight. My name is Geoff and I thought I changed out that last trailer. Something to look at. I've recently changed my OBS settings, so anything could happen. But we'll see how we get on with this. The Forgotten City. Let's get right into it. So, this is a game started off as a Skyrim mod, actually, where the player character was investigating an underground city and mystery of what happened to its inhabitants, and since then it has been made into its own full-fledged game. Setting moved from Skyrim to an ancient Roman city. So let's go and see what we can find. We're going to do a new game. Wait for it to load up. Message from the developers. This game was developed by a core team of 3 people over 4 years. Your support allows us to continue doing what we love. I didn't read that fast enough. This mystery adventure with multiple endings. It rewards thoughtful conversation and exploration, not brute force. Just my kind of game. Fate of the city is in your hands. Present day. Oh, I like that. It's the moon in the sky. I just want to stay here like that. Just stay like that. Can that just be the game? Just staying like that. Oh, hello. Who are you?
Hey, you're alive.
I hope I'm alive.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, a phone, maybe. I hope you don't mind. But all I found was some loose change.
Can I have that back, please?
So, wanna tell me who you are?
I don't know who I am. Okay. Choose between the 2 sides of the coin. Go with this one. Skin tone. I like this. This is the person who does not go out in the sun very much, so we'll have that. Name. What should we have as a name? I know what the name has to be. Wonder how much of this I can do this. There we go. Save choices and continue? I think so.
It's nice to meet you. And I'm sorry to pry, but any idea why you were floating down the river? What's the last thing you remember?
I don't know. Let's have a look at this. I was searching for ancient ruins. I'm an archaeologist. Years of studying history gives you occasional insights into the ancient world. On a covert mission, soldier, you have a military-issued firearm, but only 10 bullets. Best use them judiciously since there's no way to get more. I was on the run from the law. Fugitive. Your time on the run from the authorities has made you quick on your feet and you're 25% faster when sprinting. Barely remember anything. Your recent head trauma has increased your pain threshold, making you 50% harder to take. I love that being whacked on the head makes you precisely 50%, half again as hard to take down. I'm going to go for archaeologist.
Oh, you're an archaeologist? Then you'll definitely want to hear this. I don't know if it's exactly what you're looking for, but there are some ruins just behind you.
How convenient.
I need you to go in there and see if you can find a guy named Al for me. He went in there a few hours ago, and he hasn't come out. I've been freaking out, wondering if he's trapped or injured or worse.
Boyfriend, maybe?
I would have gone in after him, but he made me promise to stay here, no matter what. There's no way I'm leaving without him, so I'm just kind of stuck here, waiting. What I mean is, I was hoping you wouldn't mind going in there to find him.
I opened the window.
If you can do that, I can get both of you back to civilization in my boat. Please?
Might turn that game audio up actually a bit.
Okay.
Bear with me one moment. Game audio up to see if that works better. Mind if I ask some questions first?
Oh, of course. Sorry, I don't mean to be pushy. What do you want to know?
Right, where should we start? What's your story? Who are you? What's your story?
Oh, there's not much to tell. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute.
Oh no, that.
Know what I mean?
You just described my life. You're not even going to tell me your name?
Oh, I'd rather not say if it's all the same to you.
Right, so where should we start? What's your story? Who are you? What's your story? Okay, game audio is fine. I'd really like to know, especially if I'm going to be helping you. I mean, we've just met, and you've just asked me to go and find this guy for you. I'd like to know what your name is.
All right, fine. Sorry if I sounded cagey. It's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
Karen, well, thank you for saving my life, Karen. Why don't you want to tell me your name? Oh, all those Karen memes must have really ruined that name, huh? We're going for that one.
Yeah, something like that. But right now, I have bigger problems, like finding Al.
Who is this guy? Who is Al?
He's the guy who washed up on the riverbank not long before you did.
Oh.
I thought maybe you two knew each other. I guess not.
So
But
someone else you just met.
maybe the two of you can piece together what you're doing here. In any case, you'll like him, I'm sure. Once you find him, that is.
You're up to something. I think you're up to something. I'm not quite sure what you're up to, but you're up to something. Where
You
are
really
we?
don't remember? We're in Italy. This river is the Tiber.
Oh, I like Italy. What can you tell me about the ruins?
Not much, really. But imagine what you might find in there. Priceless ancient artifacts. Al.
Again with Al. Do you have a crush on this person? Look. You have a crush on this person, don't you? Have you tried calling for help?
An idiot? You could hike a long, long way in any direction and never find another soul. Trust me.
Okay, Karen. Fine, yep. That's all the questions I had.
So you're ready to go look for Al?
Pushy or what? Okay, I'm in.
The entrance is just past those columns behind you. Please, hurry.
I mean, I guess this is what the game is.
And
Oh,
he left this here. But I think you'll need it more than I will.
really? Torch. I like that she actually hands it to you. You actually see her handing it to you, whereas in most games it just like happens under the screen, but she actually hands you this object. Torch. Torch will be very useful. New main goal: quid pro quo into the ruins. That flashlight. We've got a flashlight. Let's follow the enter the ruins. Okay, here we go. Very nice. This looks... I wouldn't mind walking here actually. Can I go?
The ruins are just beyond those columns. Please, hurry.
An old wooden rowboat. Karen must have used it to rescue me from the river. This is the rowboat that Karen's going to Rower's civilization on? I don't know. I'm unconvinced. Sorry. Yeah, ruins. Sorry. Focus. Let's go. Okay. If you've never actually been to Italy and visited Roman ruins of like Colosseum, Pompeii, I highly recommend it. And wow, this is a cave. This is definitely a cave. Hold left trigger to sprint. Move slightly faster. Okay. Bridge going over the river. 4 ruins over here. Oh wow. There's the moon up there. Use that to lower your flashlight. That works. That's a backpack. Backpack full of worn hiking clothes and empty food packets. Nothing valuable here, but still it seems strange that Al left it behind. Well, I guess I'm going to have to leave it behind as well. Torches and a note on the door.
If you're reading this, it means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city hidden deep underground. Its existence is long forgotten. All knowledge of it lost, except in the Latin inscription here. It reads, "You who wish to enter the city, step forth and be judged. The virtuous shall be rewarded with eternal life in paradise. The wicked shall find themselves showered in gold but in vain. For this shall be their final resting place.
Well, that's not ominous
Could
at
an
all.
underground city have remained a secret for all this time? Could people have survived down there, against the odds? It seems there's only one way to find out.
40 years ago.
If
So,
I'm not back in an hour, I'm somewhere on the other side. Consider this an invitation, or
That's
a warning.
that it?
Alworth.
very specific.
Are you finished? Are you finished, Al? Al, are you finished? Anyway, this looks like some sort of shrine. There's something on the table over here. I wonder if... Ooh, what's this? Oh boy. Ah! Watch that first step. Oh boy. Oh, I guess I'm not getting back up that way. Ooh. Ominousness music. Ominous music of ominousness. Thanks. So, bath? Public bath? Roman bath? Go up the doorway. Flashlight out. Oh, what? Writing on the wall. Always remember they're watching. Archaeologist insight, so it's my archaeologist. Let me read that. Okay.
This. Didn't work.
Hello?
Made very clear to me that. Go in.
The heads of the statues are moving. They're looking at me. What? I'd like to go home now, please. Karen, can you row me back to civilization, please? Karen, please, Karen. Anybody? Anybody here? Al? Al, are you? More of them. Okay. Roman mosaic on the floor. Pick them up there. Yeah. Inspect the plaque. There are many shall suffer for this. Oh dear. That fills me with confidence. What about you? No. Oh. Somebody looks like they were running here. A Roman gladiator mid-stride. What could have made a gladiator flee? Don't know if I want to find out. Else looks like they're looking at me again. More statues of ominousness. Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Part of me wants to know what happened here. The other part wants to just run through it. Wow. Use. Quite a quick save after 90 quick blow. This guy. A Roman military commander attempting to scramble away from something. Okay. Okay. Oh, this fella hit. Roman statue. A Roman legionary in a state of. What is going on? Yep, you moved. You definitely moved. On. Okay. This is definitely a ruin. Ruined city.
It's not.
More statues down here. Okay.
Huge cup.
One.
Walls are cut.
Sorry. Was that you? A Roman woman who appears to be praying for help that never came. I don't know what happened here. That's a drop. That's an underground cavern. A huge cavern. Makes sense, I guess. As we drop down. Okay, let's keep going. Keep going.
First of all,
Hanging golden statue. A golden statue and an old man wearing modern clothing. This must be Al. How is that possible? He's left a thing. Scribe stone
Whoever
tablet.
is this? I'm sorry you had to find me like this. And worse, she'll suffer the same fate I did. I've spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles, searching for a way out. The inscription was right. There is no way back. In here, there are only two options: death, or that godforsaken doorway into the past. I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right. And I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now. And find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
Yeah. Aaron.
Result.
Aaron, I found out. Can you come and get me, please? Karen?
Generous.
Mental note, fire burns.
The two buildings
Right.
next door.
Well, I don't quite like either of those two options, really. I'd like to get
Early in the
but I suppose we're going to the doorway. Yes, yes, I can hear you. Who is this? A young Roman woman in a state of panic. Yes, I can hear you. Was it you? Was it you? Guess not. Guess not. This way. Okay. I do like this though. Some good architecture here.
Returning it to 18. 19.
Oh, who's this? So, well, at least you had a good view as you turned to gold, I guess. A Roman man on his knees as if begging the gods for mercy. Now, I want to watch the view, mysterious voice. I want to look at the view. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Well, it's not gold. That's an improvement. Inspect. The remains of a human. Whoever it was died here long ago. Long time ago. And this... Oh. Oh, we're going through. Whee! Woo. Welcome to Stargate. Look, Mom, I'm in Stargate. Look, Mom, I'm in a loading screen. Still loading. I'm getting all these tips. These tips are flying in front of my face. I'm going to the Stargate. Are you still loading? Come on, you can do it. I believe in you.
Be interesting.
We made it. We're through the Stargate. Through the Stargate. Okay. I guess we're not going back that way. This. A Roman relief depicting a great circular portal and two women. I wonder who they could be. Figure out how to return to your own original time. Yeah. Yeah. I kind of figured that one out myself. Okay. Ooh, hello there. This looks a bit more alive. Oh, are you that same person I just saw?
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
I'm Geoff, and I just come from the future. Wait, are you speaking English? Run up a Serpenter. I'm Geoff, and I got lost. Right, English.
What? I'm speaking Latin. You are too, although your accent's a little strange. Oh, I see what you did there. Changing the subject like that. Nice try. But I'll ask again. Who are you, and what were you doing in the shrine?
Shrine of a Serpenter?
Yeah, you know, agricultural goddess of springtime? You're not from around here, are you?
I could say that.
You're a sly one, aren't you? One more time. Who are you, and what were you doing in that shrine?
I'm Geoff, and I just come from the future.
No idea what you're talking about.
I mean...
Oh, wait. Are you a bit, you know, not right in the head?
I'm starting to
That's
wonder.
all right, friend. Everyone's welcome here.
Seriously, what's today's
Losing
date?
track of the date down here, but it feels like the beginning of spring to me, so I'd say early March.
What
It's
year?
817 AUC. Sorry, you look confused. 817 years since the founding of Rome. Which part of the empire are you from exactly?
So it's 65.
CE? No idea what you're talking about. But listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So let me make this nice and simple for you.
I thought he was speaking very, very slowly.
Here, and we'll all get along just fine.
Your law?
Laws? Law. There's just one, the golden rule, and the punishment for breaking it's, well, it's kind of horrific.
Oh.
Our magistrate
Oh.
insists we take all newcomers to see him, so I guess I'll let him fill you in.
Oh.
So then, you coming?
Alright, lead the way.
When I first arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now.
Very nice view.
Only 23 of us at the moment, if you count the 3 who are missing. No idea how, since nobody knows a way out. But it's just big and dark enough to get lost in, if you're not careful.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your handsome new friend, Galerius?
Keep it in
Hi.
your loincloth, Aurelia. I'm taking him to see the magistrate.
That pompous old bore won't be magistrate for much longer. Anyone who helps vote him out today drinks at my bar for free tonight.
Politics. I'd stay clear of it and her, if I were you. She's, it's not my place to say.
Nice looking place,
Down
though. I
on
would
your
not
right
mind
is
visiting
our
here.
farm, where I grow all the food you'll ever want. As long as all you want is leek, cabbage, and wheat. Ah, that one usually gets a chuckle.
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Excuse me?
Don't mind Livia. She means well. She's just been in a bad place since...
Ooh.
Well, you know, I don't know
Alright,
what happened to
I'll read this. Don't steal anything, don't hurt anyone, don't... Whoever wrote this didn't get a chance to finish, evidently. Sorry, I wanted to read the graffiti.
Up here on your right is the chasm. If you've got a weapon, it belongs way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the forum, where you can visit the market or get yourself patched up in Lucretia's clinic in the Shrine of Apollo. Most of us have almost nothing, just what we had on us when we arrived, and what we've been able to make and scrounge
Excuse
up
me?
since.
Do
And
you know about the statues
central
talking?
plateau is where the magistrate and the other patricians live, so don't expect a warm welcome.
Galerius, you're meant to be working the farm, not trudging dirt into the villas.
Take it easy, Horatius. I was just taking our new friend here to see the magistrate.
Hello.
He's asked me to escort the newcomer personally. The farm. Go. Now.
You'd better go with him. But just remember, they're not like you and me. Don't let them use you.
What
Okay.
was that? What did you just say?
I said it'll take some getting used to.
Yeah.
This guy's not good. Like... Hello.
Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatius. Magistrate Sentius asked me to escort you to him personally. Follow me, please.
What's this
I
about?
expect the magistrate wants to brief you about the Golden Rule. It shouldn't take too long. He's busy preparing for the election later today.
Okay. Alright, lead the way.
The only thing you really need to understand right now is the Golden Rule. Let me see if I can explain it this way.
Struck. Big
When I
guns.
was serving in the Legion,
The guns are
if there was a mutiny brewing in one cohort, the legate in charge wouldn't waste time finding the bad apples among hundreds. They just divided us into groups of 10, made us draw straws, and whoever drew the short straw had to be executed by the other 9.
Oh.
Didn't matter whether he'd done anything
Oh.
wrong. One of us in 10 would die for the crimes of the collective.
Mean.
We call it decimation. If that
Yeah.
seems like justice to you, you're in for a rude shock. Because the Golden Rule is exactly 10 times worse.
And
The magistrate can explain the rest. Who's up these stairs?
Don't like the sound of. Hello, who are you?
Oh, don't mind me. I just live here.
Hello.
I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want?
Hello to you too. What's your
I'm
story?
Sentia, eldest daughter of the magistrate. But you'd know that if you'd been invited in here and introduced properly. What
Eh?
are you doing in here? And why are you dressed like that?
I'm not from around
I'd
here.
never have noticed, what with your flawless accent, appropriate attire, and impressive mastery of our customs.
Oh wow.
Now, remind me, why are we having this conversation?
Do you know where to here?
What is it with you people? You heard the rumor that my little sister escaped and figure I must know a way out too. Is that it? Well, that's just a stupid rumor. We have no idea what happened to Scintilla. I wish you mouth breathers would just leave me alone.
Can I help?
I don't know. Can you? Can you tell me how a person could have disappeared from a city with no exits and no crime? Was she snatched away by the harpies?
Beautiful.
When did you last see her?
It was 3 weeks ago. We ate our evening meal together, and I remember she seemed happy. In love.
Entrance.
We went into our rooms, I went to sleep,
Michigan.
and when I woke up, she was gone. That's it.
You're seeing
I
someone?
think so, yes. But she was very careful about keeping his identity a secret, even from me.
Why is that?
Because our father had plans to marry her off, eventually, and even a rumor about her attachment to some mystery man might have ruined those plans.
Possible her lover was involved?
No, but it's been 3 weeks since she disappeared, and he hasn't come forward.
Peter.
That might speak to a guilty conscience. All I know is, whoever he is, he's still here in the city.
Okay. Why do all your names sound so similar?
You really aren't from here, are you? All Roman women are named after their fathers. I think it's their way of branding us, like cattle to be sold at market. His family name is Sentius, so I'm Sentia because I'm the eldest. And my little sister is formerly Sentia Minor, but she's affectionately known as Scintilla.
You look surprisingly relaxed about your sister's disappearance.
Why? Because I'm on this couch and not pacing about the villa, wasting energy. I
Yes,
hope
sort
you're
of.
not insinuating I'm somehow pleased with her disappearance.
Are you?
Oh, awful. Get out of my villa and never speak to me again.
Oh, I thought this was your father's villa. Okay. You just... But... Because I'm looking for this person named Al and he's dead and now I'm trapped in this place and I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna poke around this.
Arrow. Is the impression.
You must be the person I'm here to see. Hello.
We're finally alone.
Is it?
I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name?
Put it.
I'm Geoff.
Curious name.
Wish.
To match your curious accent.
Curious name, yeah.
But I digress. I see
Excuse
you
me?
have the piercing and astute eyes of a man of great learning. We're always happy to welcome another scholar to our little community. Equitia will be delighted to meet you, I'm sure. Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains, many hundreds of years ago.
Some might say a forgotten city. Beautiful, or I just want to get out of here. It is beautiful. I'm an archaeologist. It is beautiful.
More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months. 22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise.
Music's nice as well.
All that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin?
I'd say that I have.
Until I came here. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying. If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die. You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it the Golden Rule. It's extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up. And now it seems that day is finally here. All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions. Please, ask away.
Yes, that counts. Back to count for all the gold statues I saw on the way in. What counts as this in here?
Question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome.
Hey, John, how are you?
By offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries.
So, situation update. I've been asked to search for this chap named Al. I fell into a ruined city full of golden statues. I found Al. He was a bit dead, and he said not to go into this portal to the past. So, of course, I went into the portal into the past. And now I'm meeting all these people and being told that if someone does something wrong, everybody turns into gold statues. So, it's going well. What if legal isn't always moral, and many of your laws and customs are considered barbaric where I'm from? Awesome.
Barbaric? Barbaric? What are you talking about? The Empire is the most civilizing force in the known world. Rome is a beacon of light in the darkness. For 800 years she has borne great statesmen, philosophers, poets, artists, and engineers. We have comprehensive laws protecting the rights of our citizens, which have unified countless warring tribes all across the Mediterranean and beyond, from Gallia to Judea. All our citizens are treated the same, regardless of the color of their skin or their sexual preference. Can you say the same?
Oh, shots fired.
When they are starving, they are given food rations, and when they are wronged, they have the right to bring the guilty party before the magistrate. Our laws forbid treason, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson, and so on. No other civilization in the world is so advanced, and you have the hubris to call us barbaric.
I just got into a game of what do the Romans ever do for us in this. Don't your laws allow slave ownership?
Of course. What else would we do with those prisoners of war who would otherwise have been executed? And besides, there are laws for their protection as well.
Then people watch blood sports for entertainment.
On occasion. But our gladiators are almost all volunteers seeking glory, or condemned prisoners who would have been executed anyway. I do not see the harm.
That women have fewer rights than men.
Of course, but with fewer rights come fewer responsibilities, and the right to be protected by their fathers and husbands.
Then you persecute Christians.
You mean the blasphemous cult responsible for burning down half of Rome last year? It's hard to blame the people for being angry about that.
So,
Unless you think the Emperor did it. Emperor Nero did it. Okay, but it's that now. Collective punishment.
Are you talking about our practice of decimation? Of course. We could hardly unite all these warring tribes without a disciplined, formidable legion.
That's the HBO.
Where I'm from, we consider those things to be abhorrent.
Well, right now, you're a long, long way from home.
Kind of got a point about
I have
that.
made my pronouncement on the subject.
Also food.
Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist,
What they have here.
whispering blasphemous and treasonous
All the
lies
different-
in the shadows. I would be keeping a
Salty.
close eye on them if I were you.
What did you mean when you said Proserpina?
You see, in my search for a way to save my people, I learned of an ancient ritual to Proserpina, the goddess of the cycle of life.
6 spiritual ability.
It's said to open a doorway in time,
Almost.
so that if the unthinkable happens,
Right.
one person can pass through it
Maybe.
and travel back
Silver.
to the past.
But this
Oh, I think I found your
And when
doorway.
I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine, I knew that
This
person
is
was
found.
you.
Many of us grew
You
up.
don't belong in our time, do you?
This
2,000 years in the future.
2,000 years?
that
That is unfathomable.
Special.
Please, tell
I
me,
know, right?
in your time, what did you see? What had become of us? Of this city?
You'd all been turned into golden statues.
Isn't it? Our downfall 1,000 times.
Rising.
It still breaks my heart to hear the truth of it.
How does the ritual work?
All I can tell you is that it's a ritual sacrifice to Proserpina. I stumbled across instructions. I have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, some sacrifice is involved.
Mountain.
Usually that means wine or food, or in some cases a live animal. In this case, the sacrifice is rather more costly. The life of the person performing the ritual. I don't suppose you saw any sign of me in future?
Yeah, I think I found your bones.
I assume that was me. If I'm forced to perform the ritual, it's going to cost me everything. You'll try to make sure I don't need to use it, won't you?
Do my
I
best.
suppose that's all I can ask for.
Why can't you
I
investigate?
believe you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new here, and it'll seem perfectly normal.
Got
As for
points.
me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned me many friends. I fear I may not even remain magistrate after today's election. The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. You shouldn't have that problem, though. Unless, of course, you get off on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
Beyond it,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Do you have any suspects?
Do you ever stare at a problem for so long that you can't see it for what it is anymore?
Every day.
What's needed here is a fresh pair of eyes. The less I prejudice the independence of your investigation, the better.
How do I know you're not the one
Me?
responsible?
Why would you suspect me? I've just told you. I'm about to sacrifice my own life to ensure these people have a second chance.
So,
What reason could you possibly have to suspect me, of all people?
Fair point.
Don't you think so? Without
Well,
trust, without each other, we won't
And
be
it's
able
that-
to prevent what is about to happen.
baby.
Could it be related to Centilla's disappearance?
So you know about that already. It's a devastating loss, of course, but that was over 3 weeks ago, and whatever happened to her, it didn't break the Golden Rule, so I don't think it's connected with our imminent demise.
Interesting.
So if you happen to find her and return her to me, I would be eternally grateful.
Come on, tell me what you really think.
All right. There are those who wish to vote me out of office so that they can pursue their own misguided political agenda. Frankly, their selfishness and recklessness risk destabilizing the entire city. I would be looking very carefully at them if I were you.
Do you have any names? If I do this, will you help me get back to my own
If I
time?
understand Prosperpina's ritual correctly, that problem should take care of itself. Let me see if I can explain. If you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the Golden Rule, I won't need to bring you here. I won't create the portal, and you will never have been able to come here. Thus, you'll have created a paradox. If this occurs, you should be flung back to your own time, having changed the past for all of us. Make sense?
No, because if I help you figure out the person who's going to break the Golden Rule, then I don't come back here, that person will still break the Golden Rule. And so you'll still have to bring me back? I think so.
Ah, good. So, are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the Golden Rule?
I'm in!
Now, I need you to investigate the city, talk to everyone, help them if it'll win their trust. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to leave. Figure out who the culprit is, and as soon as you have a name, come back and tell me immediately.
I'll get started.
One last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the Shrine of Apollo in the Forum. I heard wailing from there.
Okay.
Seems like something's not right.
I'll get right on it. On it. Colonel Arius. Flashlight and inscribed stone tablet. Point of origin, create a time paradox. Golden rule, find out who tries to break it. Leads. That was just pressing the crit, yeah. You again. But anyway. Wrong way. Nope, nope, I think we're good. How is this down here? Oh, is this the gladiator I saw running away? Hello there, sir.
What were you two talking about?
You two? What? Sorry?
Don't play dumb. I saw you. Having a shady little chat with old man Sentius up on his balcony. What's he offering you? Money? Favours? What's your vote worth to him?
I'm not interested in voting. He wasn't trying to buy my vote.
You're throwing your lot in with him for free then? That's even worse.
Excuse me, sir.
My words, Malleolus is going to be magistrate by the end of the day. And if I tell him you sided with that feeble old has-been, that you've been trying to undermine his hard-won victory, you'll have picked the wrong patron. Got it?
Excuse me, sir. Don't care about the election.
Good. Then stay out of it. Nobody likes Caput Murday foreigners interfering in an election.
Hi, mind if I ask some questions? What story?
Name's Domitius. You want to get to Malleolus, you go through me.
I like to meet
Too bad.
Malleolus. Oh.
He's busy. Unless... No. You don't look like you could afford it.
Well, screw you.
I'm
What?
glad you asked. See, he's a busy man, and this is an important day. He'll be inside practicing his victory speech for tonight. Left me strict instructions he doesn't want to be disturbed. So if you want to see him, I'll need something valuable in return.
Alright, what do you want?
Something good.
Rub
Right.
this in?
That's such an ugly word. What I'm looking for is more of a tribute to me, your soon-to-be patron.
Maybe it's ugly word, but it's accurate.
If
Get out,
you
find
set
another
one
way
foot
in.
in that villa without permission, I'll skin you alive, you Pusilla Semitarius Mocus.
Excuse me. Oh, Servatius and Malleolus. Oh. Okay. Oh no, I want to go up this way, don't I? Ooh.
It was quality.
Serious doorway over here.
Hey! You're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you?
Kind of.
D.
Yes,
So
why?
I just told you about Hannibal. Why do I have to do everything round here? So, there was this guy called Hannibal, right? Funny accent. Used to go down into the cisterns looking for junk he could clean up and sell. One day, a few weeks back, he comes out and tells me the cisterns are haunted.
Oh.
Said he could hear spirits wailing. Of course, nobody believed him, because who trusts a Carthaginian, right? Anyway,
yes, who would trust them?
later, he goes back in. And hours go by, and he hasn't come back out, yeah? So I go down after him, and it's dark. But in the distance, I can just make out his body, sprawled out on the ground. And hunched over him was something that made my blood run cold. No word of a lie. I saw a creature. Like the corpse of a man who'd been flayed. And it was eating Hannibal. What any sane person would have done. I legged it out of there and put a sign at the door to warn the others.
Maybe I'll give it a miss. Very well. Oh, ooh. It's in a house like this. Ceramic ink jar, the ink appears to be made from soup water.
I don't like. I've seen it.
What? Yeah, that's a steal. I'm not going to steal that. Another ink jar. These scrolls and stuff. And another golden statue. Why am I here and not going to the temple like I was told to? Stove, inspect the stove. It's no doubt unpleasant cooking with such poor ventilation, but Romans probably regard that as a servant's problem. What? Excuse me, what? Ooh. Octavia's chest. Octavia. Read it. Directions to a secret shrine. Interesting. Interesting. Didn't kill everybody. Right upstairs, shall we? Wow. Well, I like this. Bust of Minerva, the Roman goddess of strategy. Oh, that's a nice. Walking down. Kind of stops, okay. Oh, hello there. Hello there, who are you?
Familiar face. Oh,
Definitely have to.
Hello.
Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia.
To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
I'm just breaking into your home, reading all your stuff. What's your story?
Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from. I suppose it's quite charming in its own way. Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due formality or courtesy ask, "What is your story?" The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office, by which time you would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that is. So, let's do it your way. Just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like. It'll be a refreshing change.
I like you. How did you end up here?
I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here?
Young woman named Karen dragged me out of the river unconscious and let me in here.
And nothing about that name seemed odd to you.
Bit. Older name, but not uncommon where I'm from.
I see. I wonder if... No. I apologize. I don't mean to be cryptic. It's just that you've got me thinking. Have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too? I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember and see if you notice any patterns.
Bit coy.
I know. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you too.
What happened to Livia?
Up until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive member of our little community, darning clothes and cutting hair. She was always so chatty, always seeking out newcomers and asking them where they were from and how they wound up here. And then, about a month ago, she suddenly changed. She withdrew, stopped working and became despondent, started muttering to herself. Galerius and I visited her to see how we could help. But she just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows, and told us we were ignorant of some pattern. Look, it could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill. Or, as Galerius suggested, the weight of the golden rule was too much for her. But there was a small chance that she learned something, saw a pattern nobody else saw, and that it broke her. I just don't want to see that happen to you. So be careful, will you?
Be careful.
Now, go and follow the thread of truth through this labyrinth, and come back to me if you discover any patterns.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. Do you know a way out of here?
I'm afraid. It seems to me we're exiled here until the gods judge us, one way or another. I'm quite sure it's the work of the gods. Which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds, as long as we've kept the peace of the gods. We ask for blessings, for good health, bountiful harvest, military victory, and in return, we offer praise, wine, incense, or animals.
100%.
But here, it seems they require much more of us. I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses. Would you like to hear it? It is rather long.
Have time.
Wonderful. It goes like this. Baucis and Philemon were an old married couple living a humble life in a small town. One night, the town gets a visit from a couple of vagrants. They go from door to door, asking for a place to stay the night. Of course, being vagrants, they're turned away sharply from house after house, 1,000 in all, until finally they come to the little cottage where Baucis and Philemon lived. Now, the kind old couple had very little to offer, but nevertheless, they invite these strangers into their house and offer them food, wine, and a place to stay. Immediately, the guests make themselves at home. They begin gulping down the old couple's wine, so much so that Baucis, the old lady, begins to worry they're going to run out. And then she notices something strange. Her wine pitcher keeps refilling itself, as if by magic. realizing only a select few possess such powers, says to her husband, Philemon, "I think these men are gods in disguise." Immediately, the couple begins apologizing for offering such coarse wine, and the vagrants metamorphosize and reveal themselves to be Jupiter, the king of the gods, and Mercury, the trickster god. They confide they didn't mind the meager offerings. They were just pleased that someone in the town offered them hospitality. Then Jupiter says to them, "You have passed our test, but everyone else in this city failed, so we are going to destroy this place and everyone in it, except you, who we will grant a wish." So old Baucis and Philemon escape up into the mountains safely, and they receive their wish, which is for eternity together. Meanwhile, Jupiter carries through with his threat and wipes that city off the map. Some say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship, the reciprocal obligations owed between hosts and guests. But I like to think it's that we should always show compassion for those less fortunate than ourselves.
I mean, have you ever read any of the epics by the great poet George R.R. Martin? He has something to say on that subject? I agree.
I'm pleased to hear it.
I'm not going to antagonize you.
It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Malleolus, the challenger. Why do you ask?
How to vote?
All of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend, unless they're running, of course.
I vote then?
You're not a citizen yet, so no, I'm afraid not. But if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the outcome of an election.
So I'm going to be doing, such as
using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course. I'm responsible for announcing it and making sure the procedures are followed.
Will I nominate another candidate?
Assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the nomination.
Got the election now.
As I said, I'm planning to hold it before dusk. But I suppose I could hold it sooner, if there's a good reason.
Never mind.
As you wish.
About something else. I'm going now.
Back to me.
So,
Once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbors.
Before that, I find this. Yeah, okay. Oh, this is. I like this place. Doesn't feel the gold statues around. I'm here! And there's somebody on the ground. Huh. I'm here, and I've seen you before as well. Hello there.
Give me a moment. Sorry I'm such a mess. I just lost a patient.
Yeah.
And a dear friend. Julia. She was a good woman.
What happened?
She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally I'd treat her with resin of silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing. And I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii."
Oh no.
There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly." Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here, with the golden rule. So all I could do is come back here and just watch her die. I kept on apologizing. And now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath.
Something I can do to
Unless
help?
you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just one thing you can do. Get me that silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day or in the next hour. and I will not allow this to happen again. I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen, because if I lose another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that genetic tutor and scratching his eyes out.
I like that. Get right on it.
Come back if you get sick or injured. Day or night, I'll do what I can.
Right. Let's explore the market a bit here. What have we got here? Doors locked. Got here. Who are you?
Greetings, I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary. Leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious design. I have traveled distant trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India, and never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know, from which exotic part of the world do you hail?
Existence.
Perhaps you mean to say you feel like you are ahead of your time. I feel
say
the
that.
same way.
Could say
Another reason
that.
for us to stick together. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps?
Your story.
My story? How kind of you to ask. I am a tailor and I run the humble shop in the forum.
I set up a tailor shop here.
With all the turmoil and terror of the Golden Rule, and so few customers, why bother setting shop at all?
Yes.
I tell you, it is precisely because of the Golden Rule that I wish to remind my friends of the importance of looking one's best. I say, the more of our customs we preserve down here, the more we can preserve a semblance of normality, the better our chances of keeping our heads. Don't you agree?
I suppose so.
Oh, and there is another reason too. If we all end up
Oh,
with
dear.
statues for future generations to marvel at, I don't know about you, but I would like to look my best.
That's not funny. How did you end up here?
A good question. A very good question indeed. And I would be happy to tell you if only I could remember it clearly myself.
Who? Wait, you do remember?
I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares, and drowning in coin, I decided to celebrate my success. I rented a prestigious villa by the Tiber, invited over a few select friends, and we began making our way through some of the most exquisite wine money could buy. Quite a lot of it, in fact. Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange places before. I have even found myself naked in the desert sands more than once, but none of that compares to this. This time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as time before creation, gasping for air, and then nothing. When I regained my faculties, I was lying naked by the banks of the Tiber, gods know how many miles from my villa.
Down the
Indeed,
Tiber?
I'm lucky I was carrying a little extra weight. I believe it kept me afloat. In any case, it seems I'd been rescued and resuscitated by a benevolent stranger. I went to find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am.
Sounds familiar.
Anything
My girls. No way out of here?
Not so loud. What are you playing at?
Sorry, did I say the wrong
Been
thing?
told about the last attempt.
Who?
Oh, then I suppose this duty falls to me. Ah, it is a long story.
Why don't you tell me?
Of course, the first question any of us asks when we first arrive is, how do I escape? It is only natural after all. And scaling the chasm wall is out of the question, for it is simply too steep and too far. But as they say, if the wind fails, use the oars. And here the second option is to leave the way we came in, through the shaft above the bathhouse.
See,
Yeah.
this shaft is quite high, but if one gathered up enough wood, one could make a series of ladders and climb one's way out.
Oh, I can do
I
that.
admire your enthusiasm, my friend, but please allow me to explain why this is inadvisable. There was an attempt made by resourceful fellows who lived here some years ago. They even decided to keep records of their escape attempt for posterity. Unfortunately, as soon as they began to carry the first ladder down the hallway, they heard a godlike voice to the entire city, and that, tragically, is where their tale ends. So it seems that to merely attempt escape is to invite the wrath of whichever god oversees this place, and so I say it is best to not even discuss it aloud.
Thanks. There we go. Nope, 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 nope. Here. Phone, why are you dropping to the floor? Phone, don't drop. Phone, no phone, no. What do you think about the golden rule?
Yes. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. As a Greek, this is nothing new to me. It is how our gods operate.
Say that.
Have you not heard the tale of the god Hades? He was the first to learn this dreadful lesson when he abducted Persephone and imprisoned her in the underworld. When Demeter, the mother of Persephone, learned of this, she did not punish Hades, the guilty one. Instead, she changed the climate of Earth so that it became hot and dry. Nothing grew. The grain turned to empty husks and the rivers dried up. Innocent people died by the tens of thousands until at last the other gods were forced to act, lest they have no worshippers left. So yes, we know this rule. This has always been the case. The golden rule has merely brought it into focus.
What do we do about
To
it?
survive, I say we must each heed the simple wisdom of Thales of Miletus, first of the 7 sages of Greece, who said, "Avoid doing what you would blame others for doing."
Sounds simple enough.
Doesn't it? But it is not enough for us to do this alone. For even if 99% of us adopt this principle, that will never be enough. Sadly, no matter how well we protect ourselves, the life's work of many good people can be undone in the blink of an eye by a single selfish act.
I've seen it happen.
The voice of experience. I am sorry for your loss, my friend. But on a lighter note, I will say one thing for the golden rule. For all their grim and haunting poses, these golden statues do make magnificent models for my clothing, do they not?
Who are you going to vote
That,
for?
my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I'm leaning toward voting for Malleolus. I do not enjoy the thought of another visit from Domitius if I voted the wrong way.
Oh, I've heard of him. Anything I can do to change that?
Comes to my mind, my friend.
Going now.
I hope
Good
that our
times.
paths cross again soon, my friend.
Oh, silly. Who I'm supposed to be meeting.
The wealthy.
Over there. Oh. Who's in a place like this? Just. Let's see this chest list. Shopping list.
Hey,
Listen.
Virgil, how much would you want to make me a
Things I want to buy once I escaped. A villa on the Raventine, 2-horse chariot, seat on the Senate, 4-horse chariots, villa on the Vale Labels, 10-horse chariots. Oh dear.
But how am I going to defend myself against someone else with a weapon?
There are no other weapons in the city. We all went along with the magistrate's weapons ban, so it wouldn't be an issue.
That's why I've got to get in first before someone else beats me to it.
In a bow. Oh, no. And then there's this poor guy. How many public toilets? Theophilus had an orgy with 4 girls here and disappointed all of them equally. New public toilets. These holes must be designed for use. The sponge on. Oh dear. What's this? Always remember they've got even on the sponge stick. A small stick with a sponge attack. Must be what the Romans used instead of toilet paper. It's supposed to be for common. Best to put this back immediately. I want to wash my hands now. And there's this poor Joe here. Okay. Okay. Sorry, getting sidetracked. Getting sidetracked. Here. Walking along.
Salve.
Hello there, who are you?
Ah, a new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil.
You can call me Jeff.
Jeff. Friend. What with Julia's death? I wish we could have met under better circumstances.
What's your story?
Well, I'm an architect. Or at least I was back in Rome. That's probably too grandiose a term to describe what I do here. Help out with repairs and try to stop old buildings from collapsing on people, that kind of thing. But you probably don't want to hear about the ingenious architecture or mysterious history of this place.
Tell me about the city's history.
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Some of these shrines were constructed hundreds of years ago, which means Romans have been arriving here for at least that long. But there's one thing that puzzles me. The oldest shrine in this avenue isn't Roman at all. It's Greek.
Okay. Coming for Rome should copy Greek art and architecture?
Well, yes, that could be the reason. Or it could mean that there were Greeks living and worshipping here before the Romans arrived. Which begs the interesting question,
Welcome
who
to them.
really built this place? And could it be far older than any of us imagine? If only there was a way we could talk to the people who came here before us. The stories they could tell.
What about the architecture?
Gladly. Personally, my favorite thing about this place is the aqueducts. Those series of adjoining arches. They're an ingenious feat of Roman engineering with a very practical purpose. They take fresh water coming from outside the city and distribute it all across the chasm. It's funneled below the palace and into a cistern beneath the great temple. Some of it flows down into another cistern beneath the villas, and the rest is funneled to the shrine of Proserpina, where it fills the lake, and allows us to fish and farm.
Oh. They bring water in the city, could we even just get... Oh, another one.
Just talking about that could anger the gods for all we know. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you'd have to find a way inside somehow. Just, please, try to be a bit more discreet about it.
Ooh. Wonder how to get into the system. Got the temple up on the bluff.
Great temple? This one's a bit of a mystery. Given the way it's positioned so prominently, looking down on us, it's clear that whoever built it felt it was the most important temple in the city. Unfortunately, someone else went out of their way to keep its purpose a mystery. You see, usually a temple is dedicated to a particular god, like Proserpina or Diana or Apollo. Usually, that god is obvious. But in this case, it's unknown. There's an obelisk out the front, which probably used to bear the name of this unknown god. But it appears some barbarian defaced it. And of course we can't get inside because it's locked up tighter than the Temple of Saturn in Rome. And that contains the treasury. So we're all left wondering, which god is that temple dedicated to? And could it be the one responsible for the Golden Rule? Unless somebody figures out a way inside, I suppose we'll never know.
I'm guessing that's another job for me to do. Let's talk about something else. No way out of
I
here?
can't believe how often the new ones ask that question. But I tell you the same thing I tell everyone else. There are much worse places to live out your days. You might have a few sleepless nights thinking about the Golden Rule, but once you get used to the fear, knowing that a single slip-up could cost you everything, it's not too bad. Nothing new to me, anyway.
What do you mean?
I just mean I grew up in the Batavi tribe, far to the north in Noviomagus, and learned to expect a bit of hostility. They weren't nearly as tolerant as the Romans.
Ah, okay. What do you think about the Golden
Some people
Rule?
say it's divine, the work of a god, but I'm not so sure. It just seems so flawed to me. Like it's distinctly human. I mean, once you've been here long enough, you'll notice people doing things that just seem so wrong to you. But this so-called God doesn't seem to care, which means one of two things. Either you don't know the difference between right and wrong, or this unknown God doesn't. And I'm pretty sure I know the difference. Ooh. Do you?
I think so, yes.
Then I hope you'll agree that there are only two ways of dealing with unfair rulers. The first is to leave. The second is to remove the ruler from power. And it seems leaving may not be an option.
I hear you.
Good question. It's best if I say no more, but I hope you'll give it some thought. Look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. Somebody just has a problem with my preference for male company. Hey, nothing gets by you, huh? Sorry, that was mean. Yes, I like men. And when you grow up in the north, as I did, in the city of Noviomagos, you expect a bit of hostility. The Batavi are not known for their tolerance. I saw enough friends killed or driven away to know the cost of not keeping your personal affairs to yourself. So I hid who I was for, what was it, nearly 10 years? Watching what I said and where I looked. But that kind of fear eats away at you slowly, until living isn't any better than the thing you were afraid of. Needless to say, since I'm now living underground, halfway across the known world, with an assumed name, my openness didn't go down well among the enlightened folk of the Batavi. Nice of you to say, but not necessary. In any case, the Romans are far more accepting, and among them, I get to be who I am. Or at least, I thought that was the case. It seems I was wrong.
Who's writing graffiti?
It's not just graffiti. I have quite a collection of handwritten notes too. The strange thing is, I keep my personal affairs to myself. I've never really been interested in any of the men here. Not my type. So I'm not sure what I could have done to upset this person. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably one of those cultists. Strange bunch. They insist there's only one God, and that he considers my nature a sin. Can you believe that? If there are any of them here, they won't admit it. Not since they supposedly burnt down half of Rome last year and went into hiding. All I know is, if these threats keep escalating, eventually my secret admirer is going to cross a line and break the golden rule.
Looking to it for you.
Really? I didn't expect that. But thanks. It's always a pleasure to meet someone so selfless. I'm glad you arrived when you did. I'd start by figuring out who the cultists are. Or maybe ask around among the merchants here. Someone who lives or works in the forum must have seen something. But if you find them, please don't hurt or humiliate them. I suspect they're just confused.
See what I can do.
Well,
Thanks to vote for.
Malleolus is talking about loosening some of the restrictions in this place. And while it's all a bit vague, at least he has a vision. My isn't for sale, if that's what you're asking.
We'll be going now.
To you.
Here is the dinner. Okay. Okay. This is it. I'm going to put through it. Over here. Thank you. Trying to help me.
How'd you do?
Oh, this is still justice. The mill, a stone mill, looks like flying around the corner from above. How much we... Note. Roman recipe for bread. Ingredients: a generous pinch of yeast, a pinch of salt, 2.5 cups of warm water, 1 pound of flour. Instructions: pour the water in a mixer bowl and dissolve the yeast. Add the flour to a separate bowl and gradually add the water and salt. Knead until the dough isn't thick or floury. Cover the dough and leave in a warm place near the oven for an hour so that it rises. Bake until the crust is golden and allow it to cool. I'm on both with bread. Needs to be freely available for anyone who wants it. I love that. Yes. Where is he? You're wandering around, are you? Come back here. Hello?
Arve again. Did you find what you need?
People about how they wound up
Did you
here.
notice anything? A pattern?
Nothing really.
Well then, keep asking people how they wound up here. I don't want us to rush to any conclusions yet. Livia's fate weighs heavily on my mind, and in case we should be sure. Yes, we should ask the others first.
I'll be going now.
Come back to me once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbours.
Hello?
Hello, who are you?
Hello?
What's your story?
My name's Dooley. I live here now because I got in trouble and they said they had to lock me up.
You do?
I don't know. I don't remember things so good. I think it's just because I was...
One moment, please. Someone think they're going to steal?
But I wasn't. I was just looking.
Is that all?
I did it. More than once. But I can't remember things so good. Then they called me mean names. They called me a liar, Billy.
Oh, a liability.
Yes. They said I have to live here now, and gave me this letter. But I'm not good with words. Do you? You think you could read it for me?
See what it is.
And for
Letter from Sentius to Dooley. Magistrate Sentius to Julius. I'm writing to you in relation to your incorrigible antisocial behaviour arising from your obsession with alleged lost treasure. While I am sympathetic to your plight and attacking your guardian Hannibal some weeks ago, I wish to impress upon you an important message. The treasure you seek for does not exist. Given your memory limitations, it seems likely you simply misremembered. More importantly, since you have on several occasions been caught trespassing, including around the cisterns, which are strictly off-limits to all citizens, I have reluctantly come to the conclusion that you are a liability to this community and must have your freedom limited lest you break the golden rule. It is my hope that this letter will assist you to remember why you're incarcerated should you experience further lapse in memory.
What does it say?
It says they caught you trespassing several times and locked you up to stop you breaking the golden rule.
My
Treasure.
friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said he always would. But then he died. It was very sad.
Fortune smile on
He
you,
said,
brother.
Oh, hello.
if
What?
anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious hidden away. He gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe until I found the treasure. But I couldn't find it. All I remember is he said something about the cisterns. But when I went up to the high one, they put me in here. Now nobody looks after me. Except my friend Galerius. And Ek. priestess lady. She's a nice lady.
Oh, if you give me the key, I can try and find out what it unlocks.
Said I shouldn't give it to anyone I didn't trust. But maybe you could help me get out of here. Then I would trust you a lot.
Social magistrate.
Already tried that. He said the magistrate wouldn't listen, no matter what.
He's talking about a new magistrate.
Galerius. He's nice. I like Galerius.
Galerius likes a magistrate.
And everything. If you help make him magistrate, he can get me out of here, and I can give you the key to my treasure. Hannibal said it was in the cisterns. I can't remember what it was, just that it was way up high and very precious.
See what I can do. You know where to
Get
fit?
me out of here. Really?
Come out to the city.
Galerius already tried.
Oh, wait. Skip line.
Like, if you Gold? Treasure?
No, I mean golden rule. Never mind. Let's talk about your treasure.
My friend Hannibal used to look after me.
Actually, I have really come.
He said he always would. But then, he died. It was very sad. He said, if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious hidden away. He gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe until I found the treasure. But I couldn't find it. All I remember is he said something about the cisterns. But when I went up to the high one, they put me in here. Now nobody looks after me.
I've seen that.
Like, if you Hannah.
Going now.
Bye bye.
Okay. Yeah, dude. No, not dude. Decius. Decius. Oh, this must be. Read the scroll. The Myth of the Golden Rule by Duratas the Younger. As per our custom, I shall begin by paying my respects to the god responsible for the city. For our continued prosperity and tranquil seclusion, he deserves our admiration, but here I must depart from custom, for his attempt at imposing strict rule upon us is oppressive and overreaching and deserving of our contempt. Wow. Who among us has not awoken at night in a cold sweat, fearing some sort of accidental transgression of the Golden Rule? All of us must accept that we are capable of error, whether from a momentary lapse in judgment or a conscious decision based on faulty reasoning. Yet the great threat, the sword of Damocles that we live under, is, I believe, merely deception. I shall prove it to you. Let me begin by dismissing the counter-arguments. First, it may be argued that the inscription stating, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one," is evidence that the Golden Rule is very real, but that is logically unsound.
On you, brother.
For we cannot assume the writers knew any more than we did. That this message was inscribed does not make it true, any more if I were to describe Duratas the Younger as a god. Second, it may be argued that the statues in this place are evidence that the Golden Rule is real. Can you not remind me of that? It was I who discovered them all around this city. It was I who collected them, placed them in a handcart, and placed them in the niches where they sit today. I will not soon forget them, and yet I refuse to leap to the conclusion that they were once real people. There is simply no evidence to support that conclusion. When we read the story of Venus bringing Pygmalion sculpture Galatea to life, we do not believe it is true. Why should we take a different view here? But ultimately, these arguments are just that. After years of living in fear, there is only one way for me to prove that the Golden Rule is a falsehood, and that is through action. Friends, I apologise in advance for this, but one day you will see this moment as a turning point in our city's history. Let us see once and for all if the Golden Rule is real, as I strike one of you with my fist. How did that work out for you, buddy? Yeah. Okay. Not that very much. Where are you? It's Horatius. And Galerius. You know what?
Don't you just love springtime? Ah, it's you again. Hope you're settling in, friend.
Hi there.
Now, what's on your mind?
What's your story?
Well, it's a long one and kind of sad, but I don't mind telling it. I'm a farmer. Always have been. I grew up in a small village in Britannia, Camulodunum, with my parents and 2 little sisters. Lovely part of the world. One day, when I was about 20, my father and I were in the top paddock, loading our cart, when some Roman legionaries came along, demanding produce for their men. My father told me to run into the house for his axe, and so I did. I sprinted so fast I almost threw up. But by the time I got back, he was bleeding out on the ground, and our cart was empty.
Oh.
That was my first encounter with the legions.
Okay.
My mother died of a broken heart soon after, and things went downhill from there. I took over the farmstead, but I was young. It was a struggle. More raiding started before too long. We'd come outside in the morning to find animals missing, our stores pillaged. These legion thugs just took whatever they wanted. One night, when my sisters and I had nothing left to steal, there was a knock at the door. I knew who they were, and what they wanted. I got my father's old axe, pulled the door open real quick, and before that soldier knew it, split his face right down the middle. But there were more of them. I never saw how many, because the next thing I knew, I was waking up with a mouth full of dirt and lungs full of smoke. My home was reduced to ash. My sisters, dead. And they left me alive to see what they'd done. Still burns whenever I think about it.
Sorry to hear that.
Well, I wasn't the only one this happened to. It wasn't long before Boudica led thousands of Britons in a rebellion against the Romans. Unfortunately, there were just too many of them. And those of us who survived, they enslaved.
Oh, you're a Briton. Okay.
So, then I found myself being transported all the way to Rome to be sold to the highest bidder. I spent a few years working for my new master, learning the Romans' ways, Romanized my name and everything. Tried to escape a couple of times, but they always found me, and I'd just end up right back where I was. I'd probably still be there too, if it wasn't for the stampedes breaking out. You see, about 7 months ago, an enormous fire broke out in Rome. Everybody was running down toward the river, screaming and shouting. I've never seen anything like it. Human beings acting like cattle. I got swept up with them somehow, and the rest is a blur.
River again.
Next thing I knew, some stranger was dragging me out of a river. Stumbled across this place and started my life over again.
Really story.
That's what I thought too, for a while. But it seems the gods aren't done tormenting me yet. See, I finally had my own farm again, safe from the grasping hands of the Romans. Or so I thought. Until Sentius the Decurion demanded I hand over all my produce. It's for the good of us all, he says. Only he takes the best bits for himself, of course. He even told me if I refuse his demands, I'll break the golden rule. I'm not sure I believe him, but then, what if he's right? So, it turns out our dear old magistrate is no better than the Legion thugs who took everything from me. I'm right back where I began. But don't you worry, Nemesis is waiting, and he'll get his, one day. He'll get his. You said that last part, will you? I get carried away sometimes.
Sure.
Thanks, friend. I knew I liked you. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Was there something else you wanted to talk about?
You know a way out of
As much
here?
as I'd love to get out of here, the harvest's always more fruitful in another man's field, isn't it? But Scintilla, Sentius's daughter, went missing a few weeks back. Could be she found a way out. If anyone knows for sure, it'll be her sister, Sentia, but she'd never tell the likes of me.
Are they golden
I
rules?
don't give it much thought these days. I mean, everybody here's got their own view about what we need to do to survive. But I say, let's spend less time arguing about what it means to be good and just get on with it, you know?
But the election.
I can't see how I could vote for either candidate. I don't like Sentius much, but Malleolus is almost as bad. Even I could do a better job. Me, a farmer. And I've never given a speech or put on a toga in my life.
Well, how about this idea? Ever thought about running for it yourself?
Idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free. God knows Sentius is never going to do it. But from what I hear, Malleolus has the election stitched up. Nobody's going to take him on and win. Maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. And that's good enough for me.
I'll have to wait and see whether Malleolus is free.
I suppose you're right.
I'll be going now.
All right. See you around.
Yeah, that's not helpful.
Cerberus lifts his triple head and
Hello
lets
there?
out his threefold braying.
Livia,
Is he?
stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron. You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trade.
Here I can speak. Lots of
The best behavior, I trust.
Hi there.
Ignorant.
Don't you just love springtime?
You're in a world of your own, aren't you?
I'm going to start with you.
Ah, you're here.
Is proof
I'm
of a
so
degenerate
glad
mind.
you decided to visit. I'm Aurelia. And
Hello there.
I hope I'm
Fortune
not being
smile
too
on you,
forward,
brother.
but the moment I laid eyes on you, I was intrigued. There's a light in your eyes I've never seen before. A certain learning and sophistication.
I think she's coming on to me and I'm not sure I like it. But never mind.
Coming on a bit strong, don't you think?
Started this.
I take back what I said. Suddenly, I don't find you so intriguing anymore. Let's just forget that ever happened, so we can at least do business. So, what brings you to my tavern?
Let's go.
Let it go. Nothing's going to happen between us.
Better
You
here.
know, normally, I'd expect you to buy me a drink before asking if I want to get out of here.
Not helpful. I was asking.
I guess that went right over your head. Never mind.
Getting mixed messages from this person.
Fact, I do know a way out. I'm happy to tell you all about it, but this is valuable information we're talking about, and I don't just give it out like some cheap oracle. So, how badly do you want it? Is it worth, say, 1,000 denarii to you?
The way out, why haven't you used it yourself?
It's a one-way trip, and I'm not ready to go just yet. I like my life here. One day, maybe, but not now.
I think I see where this is going.
Well, I can't tell you too much, or you'd figure it out for yourself. But I promise you, you'll never have to spend another hour in this city ever again.
Yep, it's poison. Oh, what?
What's the matter? Can't afford it? Well, perhaps you could take out a loan. I understand Malleolus has lent money to others, on occasion.
Oh, you're slimy.
Certainly, for 10 denarii.
Let's
Whatever you
talk about
want.
something else. I'll be going now.
Alright, see ya.
Yeah, I don't like it very much. You there, sir.
What now?
What's your
I'm a
story?
legionary of the First Italica, but there's not a lot of fighting down here. So the magistrate has assigned me other duties. I act as the magistrate's right-hand man, keeping an eye on his daughter, I should say, and the others, and making sure they're all behaving. I also keep a register of new arrivals.
Like me. How did you end
I'm
up
from
here?
Liguria, up north originally. I was doing all right for myself. 12 years into my service. Had a nice girl lined up for when it was all over. Not anymore. She's probably figured I'm long gone and moved on by now. I try not to think about it. My commander sent me to deliver a message to Rome. While I was there, I thought I'd do something nice for my girl and pick up a little pendant from a silversmith. That's when the crowd started flooding through the streets, shouting fire. People were screaming, trampling each other. Then some Genetricum Fugitor tried to take advantage of the chaos and pinch my pendant. I remember chasing him through the crowds, down towards the river. And then, nothing. Blacked out and woke up near here. No idea how I ended up floating so far down river. But I'm fortunate to be alive, I suppose. Don't be. As Seneca the Younger said, difficulty strengthens the mind, as labor does the body. That said, Scintilla's disappearance has been more difficult than I'd care to admit. I don't see why not. Just make sure I get it back by tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Aurelia, Claudia, Decius, Demetrius, Julius, Fabia, Gorgias, Hannibal, Gracius, Bat, him yet, Julia, Livia, Brexia, Malleolus, Navia, Fabia, Alice Octavia, Rufius, Sentia, Scintilla, Sentius. Mouse out the way, I can't read this. Ulpius, Virgil. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Of course.
What
What business is that of yours?
Sorry.
A lot of people have been looking for her. But it's been 3 weeks, and we've found nothing. What makes you think you can do better?
What should I help?
I suppose that's true.
Since
Scintilla was
before she went
always a
missing?
kind, well-behaved young woman. I admit, her disappearance really caught me off guard. If anyone knows something, I'd expect it to be Sentia, Malleolus, Claudia, or Domitius. But none of them will tell me anything. You might fare better though, I suppose.
That's something else. I'll be going now.
Please keep an eye out for anything that might lead us to Scintilla.
The street end.
Yes.
Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire.
Oh, you're slimy
I'm
already.
Decius. Terrible shame what happened to Julia. But we just have to carry on, don't we?
I need some silk in resin.
All I ask is a reasonable
What's it with
price of
1,000 denarii?
denarii.
You're gouging over last thing notices?
Oh, it's perfectly legal. Simply a question of supply and demand, I'm afraid. Take it or leave it.
Hear that? Never mind.
You sure you're feeling all right? If you're hearing things, perhaps you should pay a visit to Lucretia's clinic. We don't want another Navia on our hands.
What happened to Navia?
She claimed the statues were whispering to her. Nobody else could hear it. Then she shut herself in the palace and we never heard from her again.
Oh.
But I digress. Do you want this Sylphium or not?
Go into the palace. I don't have that
Very
kind of money.
Perhaps I can interest you in something within your budget?
The story.
You mean
Steal
how
the
did I end up
resin.
here? That is a lengthy tale.
Let's hear it.
Right? Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies of Rome. Mostly sculptures, vases, the occasional slave, fetch a magnificent price in Roman high society. Had myself a nice little shop in Rome, just off the Forum. Lots of foot traffic and close to the docks. Good place to be when the fires broke out. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on
Fire again.
Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was running for the river, open to escape by barge. So I gathered my coins and some priceless vases into a car and had my most loyal slave girl, pretty young thing named Acantha, push it for me.
Okay,
All
that's
the way
not
down
nice.
to the river, I'm elbowing for a stampede of people, turning back now and then to make sure she hasn't legged any more valuables.
With a cart, how would
To
she
my
do it?
surprise, we make it, and I see this barge loading up, and it's so full it's almost sinking. but the captain's happy to take my coin. So I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl." So I did what anyone would have done.
Chose the cart, didn't you?
Of course I chose the cart. I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the cart, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go all wide.
Yes.
And in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the tiber.
Oh no. I think I see where this is going.
I dived in after it, hoping to salvage my fortune. Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something because everything went black. When I came to, I'd washed up on the riverbank.
On the riverbank.
With nothing in the world but a single silver coin.
That's new.
Because of health workers.
Reservations.
Thank you, friend.
I don't
It
think
turns out it might have been a stroke of good fortune because this place is a veritable treasure trove. Look around you. There must be more gold in here than in the treasury of Rome. If I can just figure out how to get it out of here.
Okay.
Thank you for that. I'll be going now.
Another time.
Keep an eye out for Santilla, would you?
There, sir.
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step.
Your story.
Got to stay sharp, but family's from Seleucia and Tigris. Babylon province. But I've been roaming a long time now. I joined the legions. The 6th.
The court secretary was challenged by a doctor over planetary.
How did you end up here?
Everyone else.
Why are you still wearing your legionary armor?
All in grave danger. Is it not obvious?
Fear is proof of
Look, where are you?
Dealing with what I am. You wouldn't be either.
Yeah.
None of our business. In Troiti ipsam convicula.
Something else.
We have to.
And I think we
I'm
have
going now.
to be honest.
Who were reinforcements of the trick
Have we at empty? Let the buy be beware.
The armed forces are also supported. Other parts hey,
I don't
London.
trust. Right.
Bread of the brilliant Eric King.
Oh, mysterious whispering voice lady. People the thing. What's the worst thing that could happen?
You look well, my sartorial friend.
And all this teams waiting to live up. Of course, the lady getting back on the road. Next
Examine a bottle of silphium resin. Giving you valuable ancient Roman remedy for various afflictions. Deal it. Uh-oh. Follow the magistrate.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Nope. Come on.
Everybody hide!
Eric.
Ah!
Hospital.
We must get to the shrine.
I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. Oh. Oh. Into the shrine! The Stargate. Again.
Still uncertainty. Are for sure that the strain on the front won't ease off any. From the latest virus figures for go from there. New infection. The
We're
latest
back.
24-hour period. On average on cases per day in the 1,400.
Hello there.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
I'm Geoff. We had this conversation before.
I don't think so. I've never seen you before in my life.
My name is Galerius, and you're about to offer to take me to Senti so you can tell me about the Golden Rule.
How much did I drink last night? Sorry to have bothered
I
you.
received the first dose.
I have to go.
Since you seem to be in a hurry, you should try out this device I made. Worked real hard on it.
Ooh. Another one where he just hands you an item. A zipline bar. Oh, that's awesome.
Just attach the pulley to the rope over the lake and hang on to the handles. If it works, it'll be faster than walking. And if it doesn't work, the worst thing that can happen is you'll take a swim in the lake.
But the viruses
I haven't quite summoned the courage to test it
would be
myself.
reassuring to.
But don't worry, it's completely safe.
3 months, still the same protection.
I'm filled with confidence. Thanks for going now.
I'll see you around.
Jabs that isn't the same against infection.
I'm filled with confidence. Oh, it works.
7-day underline.
Quick. To the temple, to the temple, to the temple.
Jesus.
Now golden statues. Quick. Hello. Yes, have this.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned.
Yes, I have the stuff.
Resin of a plant called Sylvium, but that Culus cumulatus decius won't give it to me.
I know, yes. Here, take it.
Quick, give it here. Julia, you need to swallow this. Here, let me help you.
Predictions for Christmas. But he added, all data that more of that.
Hopefully in a moment she should be able to breathe normally. That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this exact thing? And at this exact moment? Are you some kind of oracle?
You won't believe I told you.
Look, if you don't want to tell me, I won't look a gift horse in the mouth. But no matter. That was like the gods hearing my prayers and intervening. You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yourself. She might even be able to thank you herself in a few minutes. And maybe she can tell us who poisoned her, and who she meant when she was muttering about that snake's cruel black eyes. In the meantime, I'm happy to help you with whatever it is you need.
What's your story?
Patricia, and I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician. This is Nevia's clinic. I've just been filling in ever since she disappeared. I'm tired and out of my depth and miserable all the time. But I'd rather take this on myself than let one of you lot mess it up.
I mean, how did you end
My
up here?
husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced the Roman way more than I would have liked, and turned into an awful philanderer. I would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but I knew he would sooner have me killed than give me my right. So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear.
And then the fires came.
As he prepared to evacuate our villa, I gathered our most precious belongings, coins and gemstones, and the moment his back was turned, I ran. I could barely see for the smoke, and the streets were full of people trampling each other. I ran for the river, like everyone else, and leapt in. The next thing I remember, I was waking up on a riverbank, not far from here.
Sorry to hear that.
Say what you will about this place, at least my fornicating husband will never find me. And while there's no shortage of snakes here, at least with the golden rule, they have to try to be discreet about it.
Looks like something else.
This way.
But Yulia?
What do you want to know?
I think she's poisoned with self-inflicted.
I mean, if somebody poisoned her, then surely they would have broken the golden rule, and so maybe it's best we don't discuss it.
Something else. I'll be going now.
That's a shame. Thanks again for saving Yulia's life. Apollo smiles upon you.
Hello there. I've just saved your life, and you don't seem too happy about it.
Oh, it's you. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. But thanks for trying to help me, I suppose.
You seem too
Was
happy
there
about it.
something you wanted? Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest.
What happened to you?
As much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me, it's just not safe for me to talk about it. Please, no more questions.
No, someone poisoned you without breaking the
The
golden rule.
golden rule. That's the least of my worries. The gods may be cruel, but Malleolus and Claudia are far crueler.
Is that who poisoned you?
Please, just leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it.
I'm hoping to tell me what happened.
Persistent as nemesis, aren't you? I can tell you, but it's a long saga.
I have all the time in the world.
Alright. I'd been here about a week. When it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life. I could hardly breathe, and I knew I had to get out somehow. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything. And then I learned her asking price.
Yep.
1,000 denarii.
Yeah, I got that.
She was supposed to be my friend. I told her it would take me years to save up that much. So she suggested I take out a loan from Malleolus. And I did.
Overcame to go from being tomato farmer's son.
You're out of here.
I'm not proud of it, but yes, I was surprised he agreed to it, to be honest. But I was so happy to have the money I didn't question it. I had to sign an agreement saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I'd be out of here so soon it wouldn't matter. I paid Aurelia, and she gave me her so-called way out. Do you want to know what it was?
I think I can guess. Oh no.
Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here in no time. Of course, I demanded my money back, but she refused. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." Then she just looked at me with those cruel black eyes, and she laughed. She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. Only he didn't seem upset or surprised at all. In fact,
I don't like her.
He just thanked her. And that's when I realized the two of them had planned the whole thing from the beginning.
So that would have broken the golden rule.
To the magistrate. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd signed over my labor for 30 years and there was nothing he could do. I thought about resisting too. But Malleolus said if I didn't submit, I'd break the golden rule. And I couldn't be responsible for all those deaths.
Terrorists
he locked me in his villa, confiscated everything I owned as collateral, and made me wear immodest, humiliating outfits while I worked day in, day out. His wife Claudia was just as bad. She sent me to work on an endless stream of futile, demeaning tasks. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours, only for her to pour slop on it and hiss, "You missed a spot." Those two took everything from me. But they forgot to confiscate one thing.
The hemlock.
My hemlock.
Yep. I
just
see.
wanted it to be over. But it seems I messed that up too. Should have drunk all of it.
Many people fear that the
Sorry to hear
I
that.
brought it on myself. I trusted one of the most callous human beings I've ever met, and tried to swindle the other. I don't know how I could have been so stupid.
So what happened to you
When
now?
I've recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will come for me. He'll escort me back to their villa, and I'll be right back where I started. Only this time, I won't be able to lull myself to sleep at night with the thought of a permanent solution. Honestly, it would have been better if the poison had been allowed to run its course.
I do anything to help.
It seems this is the fate the gods have chosen for me, for trying to escape. At least until someone breaks the golden rule. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
Well, keep in mind,
What did it cost to buy your freedom?
but it doesn't matter.
It's enough to give that image nightmares. Images
I made a suicide pact with Ulpius last night. He's in exactly the same position as I am. Malleolus and Aurelius set the same trap for him a month after they did it to me. He and I are in this together. He's probably already thrown himself from the bluff into Malleolus's villa by now.
But I think this is about more than just
I'd never be able to live with myself, knowing I broke my promise to him. I
can help him
make
too.
it up to the bluff in time.
Not only in Kazakhstan,
I don't know who you are, or why you seem so determined to help me, but thank you.
I'll get right on it. I gotta go.
This sends a
Leopold
strong
will keep you
message
safe.
Busy.
in Kazakhstan that Russia is regional power here.
Sorry,
So what
busy.
happens in Russia's
Sorry, mysterious lady, busy.
and on that deployment, you heard a warning to Kazakhstan. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, who said that
No
history
time.
shows once the house.
Running. Running.
Borgia in America, 3 men convicted. Black man. I'm jogging.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia.
Let's just get out of the
Welcome
way.
to life under the golden rule.
Good said, he
It's a
kept
ghastly
thinking.
thing, is it not?
Yeah, I'm already
How are you faring so
felt
far?
moments.
I need to talk to
All right,
Ulpius.
well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you
Bang,
better over the coming months.
Mike and Dominic Cummings
And
of
if you ever...
the gathering.
No time, no time.
Will be looked at by
Ulpius.
investigators.
No, no.
Then, Cummings says,
Ulpius,
all
what are you
against it.
doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
He went
the
ahead
idea.
anyway. I took a photo of
Why? Why would you want that?
5 days
Why do
earlier.
you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life
Attorney General said,
working for a man
Anthony
who treats me
considering
like an animal?
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. We're all in this together, Ulpius. Please just think this through. If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates. Is that what you want?
I'm sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Please, Ulpius.
Thanks people around
Help
the world
him.
for their support.
If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all.
Really?
I don't know what to
Men's
do.
world number
I've never had to deal with this
Thanks.
sort of thing. Please, you
Oh, then.
need to talk to him.
Alright, I'll talk to him.
Thank you. And please,
Also for our Corva.
choose your words carefully.
Public has also had federal stream.
Just
Let
can
me
we talk?
guess.
Permanently.
You're going to lecture me on how suicide is
course
a
not.
crime against the Empire.
This is the immigration
I'm
detention
going to
hotel.
ask you what's wrong.
Novak Djokovic is being...
I screwed up my life.
Adnan Chupani
That's
has
what's
been
wrong.
here for 5 months now.
I borrowed
After
money,
being
and when
moved
I
from
couldn't pay it
facility.
back, I wound up in debt bondage. I'll be stuck slaving away for that Culus Cumulatis Malleolus for the rest of my life. I am out.
Oh dear.
Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no! I can't believe he went through with it. Oh Lord. That poor lamb.
My
That
fault?
was not your fault. There's no way you could have given him what he wanted. Moments after you arrived.
Whether he will be able to stay
Well,
Suicide and break
I
the golden
suppose it
rule.
means suicide isn't a sin under the golden rule. So I guess that means whichever god is responsible for it, it isn't mine.
Oh.
I'll have to let everyone know what happened.
with an
And I guess Malleolus will have to clean up the mess in his villa. It's of his own making,
But the
after all.
border force was revoked.
And I'd best pray for poor
saying he
Ulpius.
did not meet the rules of the tree. His mother, Tiana,
Oh, this must be the temple.
Prisoner.
Locked. And this is the obelisk they were talking about.
Back, saying
What?
there was nothing stopping him. It's just
I think it was time for the music. Yeah. Look at me, right?
Actually, the tennis star posted on Instagram thanking fans around the world. Other
Oh,
players
guess I'm
have
here.
had her visa cancelled. Renata Vorochova from the Czech Republic is understood to be in the same hotel as Djokovic. Australian Open is one of
get
the
out of
biggest
here.
sporting events here, but it's turning big international embarrassment. Government China continued.
From the standard developers.
Is there a That's the jump button.
Safety.
Eggshells, yes. No more should you walk on eggshells.
We'll set up.
Hello there.
Did you just leap into my villa from the balcony?
It's like, have we seen a letter from
Little bit.
It was either extremely reckless or impressively clever.
which essentially lays out.
Why have you risked life and limb to see me?
Hi, what's your story?
Is that around 4
And if it wasn't for this interruption, I'd be practicing my victory speech for the election later today.
between 11 meters.
What do you do if you win?
Glad you asked. I'll finally restore freedom to this city, just as I've been
That's big
promised.
news.
These
Up to now, the
good
government's
people have suffered long
is
enough
that
under
only
Sentius's tyranny.
buildings over
How do you do that?
There's no such thing as the
arbitrary
golden
figure,
rule.
and it should be changed.
It's a children's fable exploited by Sentius to frighten us into submission.
But
Wait, don't tell me you've fallen
first of
victim
all,
to that
this new
monstrous
will
lie?
not cover
I've seen it.
problems of which
Nonsense.
many have been.
There's no way you can prove that. If it was
Secondly,
real and
not
you'd
clear
seen someone
exactly
break
how
it,
what the process
you'd
will
be dead
be.
already.
Raise that money. The Treasury is making this letter that it will not come from taxpayer. It must developers historically have very
just never can't prove it. Okay.
I'm guided by what is best for the city's people, and that means giving them the freedom to do as they wish.
Well, I'm not going to convince you.
The Treasury makes clear that if there is a
That is simply
shortfall,
because
that
you are
money must
mistaken.
come not from the taxpayer, but from existing
Very much.
Just you can see yourself out.
be
Through
ideal.
the door,
The
this
situation
way.
where
There's a
it has
key just beside it.
Thank you, I love that key.
are being used to pay for
And there'll be more
Doors over
details,
there.
Harry.
Take that.
Died, sir. Shadow Minister for Immigration and Tanner was my neighbour's house. Palmer said he stood up for his constituents. Brown also commended
Let's go and
his
find Equitia. That's what I
the drumming. Looking at
Common.
colleges. This is why.
Oi! How did you get in there, you cheeky little stir?
No, never mind.
Fuck up an earful from Malleolus.
Is about standing by those who desperately.
Equitia, yes, I wish to speak to
Isn't
you.
the great temple majestic
Dare I
in
say,
your face?
our failure.
Are they? And may Vesta watch
Then
over
it's
you.
been
I'm
horrible.
Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Labour MP.
We've met. I've been asking people how they wound up here.
Interesting. I'm not sure why you're telling
Francis,
me, but you've come to the
form
right
of
person.
personalised treatment.
Did you find a pattern then? What have you noticed?
Mentioned a river.
Yes. I understand
False
many of our
reprogramming.
friends were carried here by a river current. What else?
Some people have seen memory
It's
lapses.
true. I know
Hospital
I wasn't
may offer
entirely
hope.
sure how I
Over
wound up
other
here.
treatment.
I'm not
What else?
entirely either. And it's a with a stranger.
Yes, I also had such an encounter. It's as I feared.
Greens. A new
I
frontier
think I
in
understand
cancer.
what poor Livia has been going through.
Bill has been
Let me
living
ask
with
you this.
leukemia for more.
Did you happen to encounter a stranger in the forest before you arrived here?
Why, yes, I did.
Inside his back
Did you happen to
on his
catch her
own
name?
immune system.
I
It has
see.
been genetically engineered.
And
It
was
is
this Karen by
now
any chance
drop by
wearing a
drop.
hood? Because I've seen her before.
the stick
There's something I think you should see.
with
I
other
think you'd better follow me to the
tends
baths.
to stop.
I'll meet you in the bars.
Too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together.
Close enough?
Fingers crossed.
Party staff, uric and the T cell. What of the patient immune system
A man arrived in the baths.
removed.
Real nasty sort with his
Hey,
face
Virgil,
Laboratory
how much would
T
you want to
cell
make me a
modified.
For the last
The
time
genes
Go and
here,
stop him
I'm
and
not
come
able
back
to
to me once we're
recognise
no
them.
longer in danger.
Why?
You know
On the
why.
T
But how am I going to defend
Apply.
myself against
Help!
fuse
You have to do something.
new protein
A man arrived in the
Disability.
baths. A real
Knocks
nasty
on
sort with his face all
in
covered
what?
up. And he's got a weapon.
Oh,
party therapy.
Do something
For
or he's going to break
revolution.
the golden rule.
This
of
is the
course he.
An immune system.
Get right on it.
Thank you. He's
There's
still
a
in
long
there
way to go.
somewhere.
Please
I
don't
have to hide. Find me in this empty shrine when it's over.
deliver more and more
No.
targeted therapy.
Maybe we shouldn't meet in there?
We don't have time for this. I have to
When
go.
they
Don't know why I said that.
up to the age of not for older adults, because it's proved too. Scientific
The shrine is collapsing.
Oh.
What trial?
Oh. Warning. Shrine may collapse at any moment.
Fabia, no!
Are you okay there, Boo?
Oh God, she's dead!
Did
Did anyone see that? The whole shrine just collapsed on her.
There,
Oh,
I'm sure.
Fabia, why did you have to go in
Years
there?
ago.
Poor sweet girl.
Or let's see about this. See about this intruder. This is the Roman baths where we came in. This is the Roman baths where we came in. All these statues. Oh. Hi.
Stop right there.
Yes,
I'm looking for
Marty,
Tiberius
maybe
Quinctius
is
Crispus,
insane.
otherwise
Also,
known as
liver.
Quinctius.
What
Do
kind
you know where he is?
Ew, I don't know
I'm
Quinctius.
not sure I believe that, so
Focus
allow me to explain something to you. I am
Focus.
here
Who's
with
they?
orders from Emperor Nero himself to find and execute the cultist Quinctius for terrible crimes against the Empire. So, if you tell me the truth,
Hello.
I will allow you to
Well, Friday
live.
evening
But
was
if you lie to
quite
me or
cold,
otherwise
early
obstruct
frost.
the Emperor's
Now,
business
the
in
weather
any
front
way,
Speaking of
I will
days,
put this
the
arrow
temperatures
through
will
your
actually
chest.
rising.
Is that
I swear I wasn't.
You are
Morning,
not
so
off
by
to
the
a
end of
good
the night,
start.
raining
When I
deep
ask you a
across western
question, I
areas,
expect
Wales,
an answer.
temporary
Is that
snow across the
understood?
Highlands.
Yes.
Thank you. Now tell me, who are you people? And what is this place?
Wet. Medium weather.
Two strangers who wound up here by
A small
accident.
community.
Afternoon.
I was told Quinctius was a cultist, but I never thought he'd be foolish enough to lead me right to the heart of his mystery cult.
The
Cool
rain
weapon.
may not is.
Mystery
Don't play
cult.
coy with me. I don't care if you're worshipping
Here's
Bacchus,
the good
Magna
news
Mater, or
after a wet
Christ.
and
You lot
windy
are all the same.
Saturday. Sundays are
Always
not bad.
sneaking off to your secret sanctuaries, indoctrinating each other with your little mantras. The Emperor may have tolerated your activities up until now, but after what Quinctius did, those days are numbered.
Wrong
You
idea,
say
we're
that,
not
but
cultists.
if you're not a cult, then why go to such great lengths to keep this place a secret?
Still looking for a way out.
You're not allowed to leave.
Not getting anywhere. Because if it can't leave, there's no way out.
Is not going to help you. But in any case, that sounds an awful lot like a cult to me. And I saw the inscription saying, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." I take it this is some kind of mantra you all believe?
Not a mantra, it's a warning.
A distinction without a difference. You've clearly been indoctrinated into this nonsense. Now tell me, where did you lot get enough gold to make all these statues?
Once
You
people
lot are
return to God as a
practicing
punishment.
human sacrifice too. You
One
people
of the
disgust
best
me.
This guy isn't listening. Well,
Yes, because I'm the real villain
He
here.
was
You're the one with the
It's all
weapon.
Mr. Poitier was the first
The
black man to
secret
be awarded
sanctuary,
best
the
hand.
indoctrination, the mantra, the human sacrifice.
The security
You're
forces in
cultists.
Kazakhstan are patrolling
There's
the
no doubt in my mind.
biggest city, Almaty,
What
after
baffles
nightfall,
me
having
is how a
apparently
person can
researched
believe in
control
something with
to a
such
violent
zeal.
scene
They
Wednesday.
just can't see
The
what they've
authorities are
become.
conducting what they're
However,
calling
you still have a
anti-terrorism.
chance to redeem yourself.
Three white
by
men
telling
convicted of
me
the
where
murder of
Quinctius
a black
is.
man in the US
Do
state
not
of
waste
Georgia
it.
have been sentenced to life in prison. And what are we?
I have no idea who or where.
Then you're of no use to me. Do you have any last words?
Oh dear. You?
As a matter of fact, I do. Once I'm done with you and Quinctius, I intend to kill every last one of you wretched degenerates. And I can think of nothing I'd enjoy more.
The many shall suffer.
Time to go.
For the sins of the one.
Time to leave.
With me are forecaster Daisy
Time to leave.
and Ross
Leaving now. Leaving now. Leaving.
Tomorrow's front page is
Leaving.
already in, starting with the Independent, the paper leads.
Leaving.
Actor Sidney Poitier, first black man to win a Best
Run for it, run for it.
Oscar, died at the age of
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Also report how the government has been accused of trying to pervert
Faster, 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 faster. Run for it.
To the justice system as the Attorney General announced that she may refer Colston statute case to the Court of I leaves with what it describes as an NHS staff after it reported FBI last year, and to the panel of experts called.
And I think that is where we are going to leave it for tonight.
Won't be necessary. Mirror, double vaxxed, rushing to book their summer holidays. Travel agents say that they're seeing.
Thank you all very much in the chat for following me in this adventure tonight. This is a really beautiful looking game, and I just want to see. Oh, I'm still in the game. One moment.
Annual state pension.
I just want to see where it leads to. It's definitely an intriguing story. I want to know more. I want to know more about these people. I want to know more about what's happening. Upcoming streams this Sunday, the Clutch of the Cult team enters its final couple of episodes, as we have the next episode, Spiral and Shade, where our heroes continue their epic confrontation with Thariz Dune, the evil, malevolent entity threatening to destroy the world and smother it in the darkness. So tune in for that, see how that goes. It'll all go fine. No streams listed for next week. However, I'm sure the streams will be happening during the week. Do keep an eye on our website, www.finalbossfight.co.uk for that. Do know that on Thursday, the Angel Games player will continue reading Bioshock Rapture by John Shirley, so tune in for that. And next Friday, we are looking to do some Tabletop Simulator, get some board games going for the new year. If you haven't done so already, please do like and subscribe. Give it like and subscribe. That's YouTube. This is Twitch. Please do follow us. Give us a follow. Great way you can support the channel. Completely free way you can support us, and a free way to know when we go live as well. Now let's see, who can we send the love on to. Joby1 is going with Sea of Thieves. Let's give it to Joby1. Raid channel. Joby1. There we go. Start raid. So, with that, I will bid you all a very good evening and see you very shortly. Good night, guys.